Hello everyone, your friend Couple is here. Today we talk about something very important. It is more powerful than any superhero. Yes, I am talking about education, Padhai Likhai. In India, we all know education is key. It is like the magic lamp. You rub it and your future becomes bright. It helps us understand the world. It gives us confidence. It helps us get good jobs. And most importantly, it makes us good human beings. Without education, life is like a television without a remote. You are stuck on one channel. So, we must take education very seriously, okay? Education is not just about books and exams. Oh no, it is much bigger than that. It is about learning new things every day. It is about asking questions. Why is the sky blue? Why does Sidhuji laugh so much? These are important questions. Education helps us find answers. It opens our minds. It makes us think. Think of a small seed. With water and sunlight, it becomes a big tree. Education is like that water and sunlight for our minds. It helps us grow tall and strong. It helps India grow too. Our country, India, has big dreams. We want to be the best in the world. We want to solve big problems like poverty and illness. How can we do this? Yes, you guessed it, through education. Educated people make an educated nation. An educated nation can achieve anything. Think about our scientists, doctors, engineers. They are making India proud. Where did they start? They started in a classroom. They started with a teacher. They started with a book. So education is the foundation of our country's future. It is our real superpower. So let us all agree. Education is super important. It is like the main ingredient in a tasty dish. Without it, everything is tasteless. It is the light that removes darkness. It gives hope to millions of children across India. It gives them a chance to change their lives, a chance to make their parents proud, a chance to make our India proud. We will talk more about this journey of education in India, the good things, the not so good things, and how we can all help make it better. Stay tuned. It will be an interesting discussion, I promise. Now let's take a little trip back in time. Way back, how was education in old India? It was very different from today's schools. We had something called gurukuls. Imagine this, students lived with their guru, their teacher. They lived in his home, like a family. They learned everything there. Not just books, but also life skills. How to live a good life, how to respect elders, how to be a good person. It was a very personal way of learning. The gurus were very wise. They taught about Vedas, mathematics, astronomy, and many other things. Then, many years later, things changed. Other people came to India. The British came. They started a new kind of education system. You know Lord Macaulay? He had a big role in this. Their schools were different. They taught English. They taught their own subjects. The aim was also a bit different. They wanted Indians to help them in their work, so the focus shifted. From learning about Indian culture and philosophy, it moved to a more Western style. This system gave us many clerks, but did it make us all thinkers? That's a good question, no? After India got independence in 1947, our leaders had a big task. They wanted to make India strong and prosperous. They knew education was very important for this. So, they started building more schools and colleges. They wanted every Indian child to study. The government made many plans. They wanted to remove illiteracy. They wanted to give opportunities to everyone. It was a huge challenge. India is a big country with so many people, so many languages, so many different cultures. But the dream was big. The dream was an educated India. So you see, our education system has a long history. It has seen many changes. From gurukuls under trees to classrooms with benches. From learning in Sanskrit to learning in English. Each phase had its own good points and bad points. The old Gurukul system taught deep values. The British system gave us a new language and modern subjects. And after independence, we tried to take the best of everything. But the journey is still on. We are still learning how to make our education system the best for every Indian child. It is a story that is still being written. India's education system is one of the largest in the world. Just imagine the numbers. Crores and crores of students, millions of schools and colleges, thousands of universities. It is like a very big school, a school with so many children. Every year, so many new students join. It is a massive operation. Think of providing books, teachers, and classrooms for everyone. It is a big responsibility. But it also means we have so much young talent, so many bright minds ready to learn and grow. This is India's strength. The system has different levels, like steps on a ladder. First, there is primary school, for the little ones. Then comes secondary school, and then higher secondary. After that, students can go to college for degrees, or they can choose vocational training for specific skills. There are engineering colleges, medical colleges, art colleges, and so many more. So many choices. It is like a big thali with many different dishes. Students can pick what they like and what they are good at. This variety is important for a diverse country like ours. We also have different types of schools. There are government schools. These are run by the state or central government. Many children from villages and small towns study here. Then there are private schools. Some are small, some are very big and famous. Some private schools can be very expensive. This creates a difference. Not everyone can afford the expensive schools. This is a point we need to think about. Should education depend on how much money your parents have? It is a tough question for a country that wants everyone to have an equal chance. The sheer size of our education system is both a challenge and an opportunity. Managing so many students and institutions is not easy. It needs a lot of resources. It needs good planning. But think of the potential. If we can educate all these young people well, India's future will be amazing. They will become the doctors, engineers, teachers, and leaders of tomorrow. They will solve our country's problems. So this big Indian school is full of hope. It is full of dreams. We just need to make sure every student gets the best seat in the class. Now let's talk about a very important question. Can every child in India go to school? We wish the answer was a simple yes. But sadly, it is not always true. Many children still cannot enter the school gate. This is a big challenge. We call this the problem of access to education. It means being able to reach a school and study there. For many families, especially in villages or poor areas, sending children to school is very difficult. They face many hurdles. It is like an obstacle race for them. One big hurdle is distance. Imagine a small village. The nearest school might be many kilometers away. There might be no proper roads. How can a small child walk so far every day, especially if it is very hot or raining heavily? Sometimes there are no schools at all in remote areas, or the schools that are there might not have proper buildings or enough teachers. This makes it very hard for children in these areas to get an education. They are left behind. This is not fair, is it? Every child deserves a school nearby. Another big problem is the cost. You might say, Kapil Bhai, government schools are free. Yes, tuition fees might be free, but there are other costs. What about uniforms, books, bags, stationery? For a very poor family, even these small expenses can be a burden. They might have to choose between buying food or buying a notebook for their child. It is a very difficult choice. So many children, especially from poor families, either don't go to school or drop out early. They might have to work to support their families. This is child labor, and it stops education. Think about a girl child in a village. Her parents might be scared to send her to a faraway school. They might worry about her safety. Or they might think it is more important for her to help at home. Or they might want to save money for her marriage instead of her education. These are old ways of thinking, but they still exist. So girls often face more problems in getting education than boys. We need to change this mindset. We need to make sure that the school gate is open for every single child in India, boy or girl, rich or poor. Section 5. Inside the classroom. What are we really learning? Okay, so some children make it to school. They are inside the classroom. But what happens next? Is the learning good? Are they really understanding things? This is the question of quality in education. It is not enough to just go to school. What you learn there is very important. Imagine eating food that has no nutrition. Your stomach will be full, but you will not get strong. Similarly, if education is not of good quality, students will get degrees, but they will not have real knowledge or skills. This is a big worry for many parents and teachers. One major issue is teachers. Are there enough trained teachers? In many schools, especially in villages, there is a shortage of teachers. One teacher might be teaching many classes, or teaching subjects they are not trained for. Also, teacher training itself needs to be better. Teachers need to know new ways to teach. They need to make learning fun and interesting. If the teacher is not motivated, how will the students be motivated? We need to support our teachers more. They are doing a very important job. They are shaping the future of our country. Then there is the syllabus. What are we teaching our children? Is it useful for their future? Many people feel that our syllabus is very old. It focuses too much on memorizing facts. Rote learning, we call it. Students learn things by heart without understanding them. Like a parrot, they get good marks in exams. But if you ask them a question that needs thinking, they get stuck. Education should be about understanding, not just memorizing. It should encourage curiosity and creativity. Exams are important, yes, but they should not be the only goal. And what about the classroom itself? Does it have good facilities? In many schools, the condition is not good. No proper desks or chairs, sometimes no blackboard or chalk, no clean drinking water, no proper toilets, especially for girls. This is a big problem. How can children learn in such an environment? A good school needs good infrastructure. It needs a library with interesting books. It needs a playground for children to play. Learning happens best when children are comfortable and happy. So, improving the quality inside the classroom is a very big task for us. Section 6. Rich kid, poor kid. Is education fair for all? We talked about getting into school and the quality of learning. Now let's talk about fairness. Is education the same for every child in India? Sadly, no. There is a big gap. We call this inequality in education. It is like there are two Indias. One India where children go to fancy schools with swimming pools and computers. Another India where children sit on the floor in a small dark room, if they are lucky to have a room. This difference is not good for our country. It is like having one strong arm and one weak arm. The body cannot work properly. The biggest difference is between city schools and village schools. Schools in big cities often have better buildings, more teachers, and more resources. Children there get more opportunities. But in many villages, schools struggle with basic things. The teachers might not come regularly. The children might not have books. This rural-urban divide is very wide. Children in villages also deserve good education. They also have dreams. They also have talent. We cannot let their talent go to waste just because they were born in a village. Then there is the gap between government schools and private schools. Many well-off families send their children to expensive private schools. They believe these schools offer better education. Government schools are supposed to provide education to everyone, especially the poor. Some government schools are very good, but many face challenges. If all rich and influential people send their children to private schools, who will care about improving government schools? This is a question we need to ask. Good quality government schools are essential for an equal society. Inequality also affects girls. In many families, boys' education is given more importance than girls'. If there is less money, the boy will go to school and the girl will stay home. This is wrong. Educating a girl means educating a whole family. Inequality also affects children from poor families and those from scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. They often face discrimination. They might not get the support they need. This inequality in education holds our country back. We need to make sure that every child, no matter where they come from or who they are, gets a fair chance to learn and succeed. Section 7 Government G's Report Card, Policies and Progress. So we have talked about many challenges, access, quality, inequality, big problems, right? But don't worry, our government is also working hard. They know education is important. They have made many policies and schemes. Let's look at Government G's report card. What have they done? One big step was the Right to Education Act, or RTE. This law came in 2009. It says that every child between 6 and 14 years has a right to free and compulsory education. This was a historic step. It brought many children into school who were out of school before. More recently, the government launched the National Education Policy 2020, or NEP. This is a big plan to change our education system. It talks about many new ideas, like making education more flexible, reducing the burden of exams, teaching in mother tongue in early years, focusing on skills and vocational training. It also aims to improve teacher training and use more technology in classrooms. The NEP has many good goals, but the main thing is how well it is implemented. A good plan needs good execution, right? Like a good script needs good actors. It is not just the government. Many non-governmental organizations or NGOs are also doing fantastic work. These NGOs work in different areas. Some help children in slums to study. Some work in remote villages where there are no schools. Some focus on girls' education. Some provide training to teachers. They fill many gaps that the government system cannot reach. People who work in NGOs are very dedicated. They work with a lot of passion. They show us that everyone can contribute to improving education. We should all appreciate their efforts. For example, think of an NGO that runs mobile schools on buses for children living on streets. These children would otherwise never see a classroom. Or an organization that provides scholarships to bright students from poor families so they can continue their higher education. These are real stories of change. So yes, the government is making policies. NGOs are helping on the ground. Progress is happening. Maybe slowly, but it is happening. But the task is huge. So more efforts are needed from everyone. We cannot just depend on government. We all have a role to play. Section 8. The future is here, smart classes and new skills. Now let's look ahead. What does the future of education in India look like? I think it looks exciting. There are many new ideas and innovations happening. Technology is playing a big role. Imagine classrooms with smart boards instead of old blackboards. Teachers using videos and animations to explain difficult topics. Students learning with tablets and computers. This is already happening in some schools. This is smart learning. It can make studying more fun and engaging, especially for subjects like science and maths. No more boring classes, hopefully. Online learning is another big trend. Especially after the recent pandemic, we all saw how important it is. Many apps and websites offer courses on almost everything. Students can learn at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. This is great for students in remote areas who cannot attend regular classes, or for people who want to learn new skills while working. Of course, we need good internet and computers for everyone. That is a challenge, but online learning has huge potential. It can make education more accessible and personalized. The future is also about skills, not just degrees. For a long time, we focused too much on getting a BA or MA degree. But are those degrees helping everyone get jobs? Not always. Now there is more focus on vocational training and skill development. This means learning practical skills that are needed in the job market. Skills like carpentry, plumbing, mobile repairing, coding, digital marketing. The new education policy also talks a lot about this. If young people have the right skills, they can find good jobs or even start their own businesses. This will make them self-reliant, Atmanirbhar. And it's not just about technology and big policies. Many teachers and schools are trying new things on their own. They are making learning more activity-based, more project-based. They are encouraging students to ask questions, to be curious. Some schools are focusing on sports, arts and music, not just studies. This helps in the overall development of a child. So the future of education is not just about gadgets. It is about new ways of thinking, new ways of teaching, new ways of learning. It is about preparing our children for a world that is changing very fast. Section 9. Let's all join in making Indian education number one. So, we have talked a lot about India's education system, its history, its challenges, and its future hopes. It is a big topic with many ups and downs, like a good movie script. But the most important part is the climax. What can we all do? Education is not just the government's job, it is not just the teacher's job. It is everyone's responsibility. Yes, yours too. And mine. We all are stakeholders. We all have a role to play in making Indian education the best in the world. Are you ready to play your part? Parents, you have a very big role. Please send your children to school, both boys and girls. Encourage them to study. Help them with their homework. Talk to their teachers. Don't put too much pressure on them for marks. Let them learn with joy. Teachers, you are the nation builders. Please teach with passion. Update your knowledge. Be a friend and guide to your students. Students, you are the future. Study hard, ask questions, respect your teachers, and never stop learning. Your education is your biggest asset. The government needs to continue its efforts, make good policies, and more importantly, make sure they are implemented properly. Provide more funds for education, build better schools, train more teachers, and ensure that no child is left behind. NGOs and social workers, please continue your wonderful work. You reach the places where others cannot. You bring hope to many. Community leaders and citizens, we can also help. We can support our local schools. We can volunteer our time. We can spread awareness about the importance of education. So the call to action is simple. Let's all join hands. Milka Kam Karte Hain. Let's make education a people's movement. Let's ensure every child in India gets a quality education. An education that makes them knowledgeable, skilled, and good human beings. India has so much talent, so many bright young minds. If we nurture them well, India will shine like a star. I have full faith in our youth. They will make us proud. So let's support them. Let's invest in their future, because their future is India's future. Thank you. Keep smiling and keep learning.